Hey Saabsters, this is QS coming at you with a troubleshooting video for my 2004 Saab 95 ARC wagon 2.3L ignition cylinder lock switch. Okay, so what's going on with the cylinder lock switch? Since I purchased the vehicle, I have been having some challenges with the cylinder lock switch, but the challenges have been relatively light, and I'm able to remedy the lock switch jamming with just a simple wiggle of the key. So I would exit the vehicle, the reminder doing would go off, then I would just re-enter, put the key back in the ignition, wiggle it, and then the cylinder lock switch would pop back up. Okay, and you hear that little pop noise. I'm sure you all know what I'm referring to. Well, recently my cylinder lock switch decided to just lock and discontinue the pop-up method or process that it's supposed to go through. We did have like a severe thunderstorm here in Charlotte, and I slightly left the moonroof open, and it did get drenched. Thank God none of the other components got affected by it, but it may have affected this. But eventually I was gonna have to try to figure out how to fix the situation that was going on. Okay, and I knew that. So anyway, what I have done is I have removed the ignition cylinder lock switch. Okay, and so while I'm troubleshooting my cylinder lock switch, I can just walk you through the removal process. So ideally I would like to show you the removal process step by step, but because it was a little tricky for me, I'm just gonna walk you through it verbally, okay, with obviously some visual direction. Now I do want to add that there is an awesome write-up on Saab Central forum about this whole cylinder lock removal process, and it's actually the method that I use to remove it myself. Okay, but for those of you that like visual, here you are. Okay, so here is the cylinder lock switch after it's been removed, and I did have gloves when I did this. All right, and so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have the key in the lock position, okay, because that will allow this release button to press in. So if you have it on lock, that won't press all the way, but if you have it on the off position, I think I said off, I don't know if I said on, but if you have it on the off position, OFF, okay, then it allows you to release this. I'm trying to make sure I find the right place. I can't do that right now, but just make sure it's an off. Okay, there it is. All right, there it is, right there. Okay, and so as you can see, it was a little bit of a challenge for me because you can see the scratches here. All right, it was more like a target practice for me, but if you are good at target practice, you'll hit the bullseye the first time, and I really hope you do. Okay, so now let's walk over to the vehicle. Oh, but before we do that, let me just show you the intricacies of the cylinder lock switch. So you have this plastic piece that comes on the bottom, and it has two clips which I removed, and then inside of that you have your spring and your washer. All right, so I attempted to take this whole thing apart. It doesn't come apart, okay, because I personally think what's going on with me is inside right here, because I still think it's stuck, and I really hope it's not, because I don't want to have to purchase a new one because they're pretty pricey. But let's see if this helped. So I have this QD electronic cleaner. It usually helps me with all my electronical components. I sprayed it down real good. It's been sitting out in the sun for a couple hours, so I'm hoping that it'll do something for it. Some people recommend WD-40, but I did read in a couple of write-ups that it's definitely not the thing to use, so I wouldn't use it if I were you, but it's up to you. I chose to use my QD electronic cleaner. Okay, so now let's walk over to the vehicle. So here she is, which I know most of you that have seen some of my other videos have already seen her. Her name is Granite. Oh, so when you start messing with the ignition switch, you're gonna get a like an SID message and like a mild version of your hazard lights coming on, and then maybe the prompts on your screen are saying like the key is inauthentic or something referring to that, and your alarm system has been compromised, and all this other different types of prompts are going to come up. And so what I recommend is you remove the negative battery cable from the battery. Okay, that alleviates all that. All right, so moving into the vehicle, here we are. This is the spot, and it's not I don't have it completely put back together, but this is just like to give you a good visual. So this is called your plastic transponder. So in order to remove it, all you have to do is turn it clockwise and it'll lift up. Okay, put it to the side. And same thing with this plastic piece. You turn it clockwise and lift it up. You might have to wiggle a little bit. Just be gentle and just wiggle it and it'll come up. And you have enough access here where you don't have to remove this. It is removable, this connector piece, but you know, it extends far enough so you just tuck it in between the passenger seat. Okay, and then here you have your Allen wrench keys, is what I use to remove this cylinder lock switch, and I use this size right here, and your entry point is right here. Okay, and so entry point is at about 5 o'clock. What you want to do is you don't want to press it all the way through, even though the cylinder lock switch is going to be right there, so it wouldn't allow you to do that. But if you go halfway and then slide, like begin to turn the key towards 3 o'clock and then push it, that is exactly at the point. 3 o'clock is the point where the release switch is at. Okay, and so I stumbled upon it by mistake because I actually pushed this in and wiggled it so much that I thought I lost it, and I was having a bit of a challenge trying to get it back out, and I started panicking, and I thought I was going to have to remove the whole console. And just when I was sliding it out at the 3 o'clock, I heard a click, and I just removed the cylinder lock switch. Okay, and so just remember, the release button is between 5 and 3 o'clock, but where the main release portion of the cylinder lock switch is at 3 o'clock, right? So right where my thumb is. The process might be easier for you, and I really, really hope it is. But it didn't take so long. It was just tedious, and it was just, it was stressful. So basically that's what it was. And so now I'm going to put everything back together. I'm going to put the cylinder lock switch back into the vehicle, and I hope this solves the problem, because I certainly don't want to have to deal with this release switch again. But maybe because I may have the process down packed a little bit better, it won't take me so long. But I really do hope I don't have to buy a new switch altogether. Well, it was not the full ignition switch, but the ignition cylinder lock switch, which you can purchase at European Parts, RM European, or eBay, or I'm sure you can get it on Amazon as well. So I'll report back and let you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this is the solution to your problem. And I hope you don't have to buy a new ignition cylinder lock switch for your Saab. Peace.